A younger body doesn't necessarily mean a better body. I've really learned to just remind myself when I have those moments of being so critical of my body. I'm not 20, right? I'm not 30 years old. I'm 45 years old. And this body that I have, man, it's carried me through a hell of a lot. Your weight, like that number on the scale, does not define your worth. If you put your focus on getting stronger, right, and building muscle tone, I'm going to tell you, then the losing body fat will be the natural byproduct. Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Wellness Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Amber Shaw, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. So today I am talking about a topic that has been very near and dear to my heart for many, many years, but not always in a good way. And I'm talking about body image. You know, I have shared a lot on this show that body image is something that I have struggled with my entire life, and in connecting with and coaching women in the sustainable weight loss space for many years. I know that for most women, this change in perception of our bodies really started at such a young age. For me, it started at about the age of 9 years old. You know, I grew up in the 80s. And so, this, really positive body image for young girls wasn't really even a thing, back then. I mean, all my moms and my mom and my aunts and, females that were older than me, like all everybody ever talked about was losing weight, and they were fat and being on a diet and all of that. And I got to tell you, like, it messed me up. I mean, you combine that with somebody who has, a perfectionist, mindset, and also is just, started at a very early age attaching my self-worth to my body. It really is a mindset for me, and having that negative body image perception, it's something that really plagued me throughout my entire life. It wasn't really until I got into my 40s that this really started to change for me. And, it doesn't help, for even with like the childhood stuff, it also doesn't help. And we all know this, that since society is not kind to women as we age. I mean, there is such this incredible, like unrealistic expectation that we have to maintain as we get older, the body that we had in our 20s. And, I'm not saying that because, of course, I care about the way that I look. And I really try to, look and feel my best. But I can tell you that an area that I have grown is in my body image. And I'm no longer trying to really chase that 20-year-old body, or I'll be honest with you, even my 30-year-old body, because that is like that's a never ending battle, right? And so, it's just so important as we age to really either start to shift out of that really negative body image that so many of us have carried for so many years, or really start to just move into a different way that we view our bodies. And especially like if you are somebody, I know for me, when I was turning 40, that was also the time that I was going through my divorce. And so, good God, you talk about like low self-esteem and low confidence and all of that. I mean, it was really compounded by that really traumatizing time in my life. But, I used that opportunity to really grow and to really start to change my perspective on the way I viewed myself. And really, as kind of that journey for loving myself, learning to love myself, the way that I viewed my body and my self-worth and the attachment to it really started to shift. So if you can relate to anything that I just shared, I want to share. Oh, first let me say, like, this episode's for you, girl. Like, I got you. I got you. But I want to share with you 5 super important things that really I have learned since turning 40 40, that really work to cultivate a positive body image. So if you are struggling, this is for you. So the very first thing that I have really come to realize, and a good reminder, I think, for everybody, is that, you know, a younger body doesn't necessarily mean a better body. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes, like, do I wake up and the aches and the pains? I wake up in this stiffness. I'm like, damn, I wish my mind is 45, but I wish my body could be 25. Yes, from that standpoint, of course. Did I move easier? Did I get injured less? Like, all the things? Yes, of course. But one of the things that I've really learned to just remind myself when I have those moments of being so critical of my body. We've all done it, standing in the mirror and pinching our loose skin on our stomachs, because for so many of us who have had kids, that's just inevitable, right? Or looking in the mirror and, pinching different places and looking at your body with such judgment. One of the things that I've had to remind myself is like, okay, I'm not 20, right? I'm not 30 years old. I'm 45 years old. And this body that I have, man, it's carried me through a hell of a lot. And I got to be honest with you, like, I actually was not very kind to my body in my 20s. I was really hard on my body in my 20s and even in my 30s, like with exercising, with probably my 20s, like doing a lot of drugs and drinking and like doing all that, right? But not getting enough sleep. Like, I really was not kind to my body. And I can tell you, like, a major shift in my perspective as I've gotten older is that is really that focus on kind of optimizing my health from the inside out and being kinder to my 45-year-old body. And so, it's just a good reminder that, the younger body doesn't necessarily the better body, especially if you weren't very kind to your body. Because also, one other thing I want to add before I move to the next one is just, I think it's what's really important to remember is, like, as we get older too, like, our priorities have to shift, right? I know for me, having 2 kids, like, I no longer care so much about being, the lowest body fat that I've ever been and blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to feel good. I want to feel confident in what I put on. I want to feel healthy. I want to have energy, right? I want to be clear-headed, right? I want to live a long life. And sometimes the way that we treated our bodies when we were younger didn't really set us up for that, right? And so just a good reminder that as we're aging, to really start to focus on this body that's carried us for so long, and what are the things that we could be doing to really optimize our health. Now, the next one, and this is a big, big one, God, especially because, as we are aging and our hormones are shifting, like, and so many of us feel like our bodies have been hijacked. I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day, but we have to let go of this belief that the skinnier body is better. And I can't even tell you, for women over 40, I mean, this is everything. The days of being like what we call, skinny fat, right? Like, those are out. Strong is the new sexy. I cannot emphasize that enough. I mean, just for me personally, I also think that a toned, strong body, my personal preference is that aesthetically, even I think that looks better, but also just letting go of the aesthetics. My God, as we age, over the age of 40, we are losing about a half a pound of muscle per year. And this is actually going to lead to increased body fat. This is going to affect our bone density, right? This is also going to affect just our injury prevention. And so we have to let go of always focusing on losing weight. And instead, if you put your focus on getting stronger, right? And building muscle tone, I'm going to tell you, then the losing body fat will be the natural byproduct. So letting go of this whole thing that skinnier is better, skinnier is not better. And skinny does not mean healthy, right? Skinny does not mean healthy and it does not mean strong. And again, some of these things I know that you already know, but it's a good reminder sometimes to check ourselves, especially if we are at a point where, it feels like the pounds are packing on and our body's changing. I mean, like I said, I was having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day and I was like, God, this happened to me because I had to start taking some hormones. I just recently got on progesterone because I was like, man, like, I don't know. I can definitely start to see that I'm getting a little bit more accumulation of belly fat, which is a normal side effect of hormones shifting as we're getting older, redistribution of fat. And so for me, I was like, okay, so I started falling into that like trap of having like so much anxiety about my changing body. And I was like, okay, let's not focus on this. Let's focus on like, what are the things that I can change, right? I can start to optimize my hormones a little bit better, kind of bringing it back to basics. But I will just say that even as a coach, I'm not immune sometimes to being really critical of a changing body, especially if it seems to be that there is some weight gain in there, right? The next one that I want to share, number 3, something that I have to realize, or I have come to realize, is that, as you age, I really do feel like, and this is for me, like, again, the emphasis is so much less on the aesthetics and like the weight loss and having the perfect body and the low body fat and all of that, and really just focusing on a healthy lifestyle because I'm in it for the long game, right? Like I want to live a long and healthy life. So I'm not willing to do anymore these like these short-term things, these quick fixes. I'm not willing to do these anymore because I'm looking at the big picture. And so what's come along with that though, is really just settling into sort of this like set point weight that I'm at. This weight that is pretty easy for me to maintain while living a very healthy and active lifestyle, but I'm not in this like restrictive, constantly dieting, calorie deficit, which is not a healthy place to stay forever, or is it realistic to stay forever anyways? And yes, is this weight a little bit is it heavier than when I've been my leanest? Yes. But I don't have to work as hard and I'm not doing these crazy things, a lot of times unhealthy things, to try and maintain that lower weight. And so for me, a big shift in my perspective has been really just putting my focus on really optimizing my health. Again, getting daily movement and sleeping, eating the rainbow, focusing on protein, like getting lots of water, all of these healthy things, and just letting my body just sort of fall where it's supposed to fall. And I got to tell you, for somebody who is a serial dieter my entire life, damn, there's great freedom in that. I mean, there is just great, great freedom in just accepting and knowing, like, you know what? I'm going for healthy here. I'm going for strong. I'm going for healthy. And this is what it looks like. And just like surrendering to that and being proud of that, because it's a lot of work to lead a healthy, consistent lifestyle that you actually enjoy, right? So that would be my third one. Just a couple more I want to share with you guys that I have, again, come to realize. And this is a big one for me. Ooh, this is a big one for me. Your weight, like that number on the scale, does not fucking define your worth. I can't even tell you, like I've shared this story before so many times. Like for me, when I was, really kind of, this is like my whole life, teens, 20s, 30s, I had this ritual where I would like get up in the morning and I would like strip down all my clothes and I would step on that freaking scale. I'd strip down all my clothes and go pee because, you can't have any like extra weight on your body, right? And if you've done this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I would get on that scale and I can tell you within a matter of like 3 seconds, that 3-digit number would dictate the way I was going to feel about myself for the rest of the day. It was either going to tell me that I was doing a great job, right? Like if I lost weight, like, woohoo, high five myself, like, ooh, I'm doing it. And even if it was like a half a pound, it was just so ridiculous to hang your hat on a half a pound. I mean, the fluctuation throughout your day with your weight and your cycle, like it's just, anyways, that's a whole other episode for a whole other day. But, I would either high five myself and I felt amazing, or if it was like I was if I didn't move at all, it was like, depending on like what my goal was for that day, I could feel like either good, like, oh, okay, things are good, or I could actually feel bad about myself because if I was trying to lose weight, which most of the time I was, or God forbid it even moved 1 effing ounce up. Well, then forget it. Negative self-talk, hating on myself, like low, like really felt like shit, all the things. And I know if you're listening to this and you have a poor relationship with the scale, or you are feeling unhappy in your body, it's not, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's a really tough way to live. It wasn't until about 5 years ago, and this is really, again, when I was turning 40 and I was really changing my perspective on myself and all of that, doing a lot of the inner work, I got rid of the scale. I was like, you know what, this is stupid. In fact, when I was coaching clients in the sustainable weight loss space, that would be one of the biggest challenges where we'd start off is like, let's put away the scale. Because here's the real truth. That scale is not telling you anything like that scale is not telling you anything you don't already know. And what I mean by that is like if you are somebody who is so like struggling with body image and you are so like hyper focused on that, you could even just look in the mirror and tell if your weight has fluctuated a pound or two. And if your weight's fluctuated a pound or two, guess what? That's normal. But it can really F with your brain. It can really F with your self-esteem, your confidence, and all of that. Even that little bit of movement. And for a lot of people, what I would see in the weight loss space is that it would just totally derail your progress. Because you'd be like, oh, it's not working. And really, it is working, whatever you're doing, as far as like, just eating healthier and working out and whatever you're doing, but you're not giving your body enough time. Your expectations are too high, like all of that, right? And so, it really like it can F with your mind. And so for me, that was a really, really big one, is really leaning into an understanding like, yes, I can have goals to want to just be the healthiest version of myself and be strong and be fit and all of that. But damn, that 3-digit number, it has nothing to do with who I am as a human being. It does not define my worth at all. And that was a big one for me. Then the last one I want to share is, girl, social media, it ain't real. It ain't real. So stop comparing. Stop comparing. I saw this video the other day of this fitness influencer. I actually didn't even realize you could do this, but I don't know why I was so shocked by it. But of course I know about filters and all of that stuff. I'll use a filter like on an Instagram story or whatever. I think we all do. And I'm transparent about that. Right. But I didn't know that you could use like Photoshop for videos. And I was watching this like fitness influencer show like her real body. And then she showed the next clip of another video where she had used some sort of AI software or whatever to like transform her body. I was like, shit, that's next level. Like that's next level. And the thing is that yes, they've been doing that with like Photoshop and print and all of that for years. And that's, part of the reason why so many of us women are just effed up. But I saw that video and I actually just got really sad because I thought to myself, damn, like these young girls, like I have a daughter who's 13. I was like, they just don't stand a chance. I mean, obviously as her mom, I feel even a greater sense of responsibility to try and like negate that and educate my daughter that shit is not real. But damn. So, stop comparing yourself to what you see on social media. Most of the time, it ain't real. It's not real. So just to kind of recap my 5 insights that I wanted to share with you, especially if you are somebody who is struggling with your body image, is first and foremost, a younger body, girl, it ain't necessarily a better body. You may be treating yourself kinder now in midlife, over 35, over 40, than you did back then. And so you got to get your head around it's the long game, right? And what your goals are now. Next one is skinnier body is not a better body. Strong is the new sexy for so many different reasons. Next one is if you live a healthy lifestyle, right? Focus on living a healthy lifestyle and allowing your body to fall where it is meant to be. There's great freedom in that. Number 4, your weight, girl, does not define your worth. I'm going to say it again. Your worth is not tied to your weight. That is a huge one. And the last one, social media ain't real. Stop comparing. So, one last thing before I go, listen, if you are feeling stuck in your life, if you are feeling, maybe you are going through what I like to call a midlife interruption, right? Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you are in a career that is like sucking the soul out of you. Maybe you're just like looking at your life and like, damn, what's next? I know the way that I've been living my life is not the way I want to keep going. Then I have got the perfect thing for you to ignite that change. I have a free 5-day mini course called Crush Life Boot Camp. All right, Crush Life Boot Camp. And this course is all about really tapping into your passion and how to tie that with purpose and what really, really lights you up. Because I got to tell you, like if you are somebody who is, struggling with your body or with your body image, and you really have this idea that if once you reach a certain size or once you look a certain way, then you will be happy. I got to tell you that you are chasing a never ending. So you are running in circles, right? You will be running in circles and you will be chasing for the rest of your life, because that really, as we know, but we just need to be reminded sometimes, happiness is really an inside job. It really is. And so I created this course for you to really start to tap into what lights you up and what makes you happy from the inside out. So you can head over to products.ambershaw.com Crush Life. And I am going to also have that in the show notes. But by the end of this free 5-day mini course, you are going to have a step-by-step roadmap for really and step-by-step roadmap and the confidence, which is so key to build a fulfilling and purpose-driven life. So go ahead and head over to products.ambershaw.com /crush life, or head to the show notes and check it out now. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.